Eddie, you do recognize this girl, as a matter of fact. She was actually last year's valedictorian at the school you taught.
Oh!
Or not taught, guarded.
I taught discipline.
Be cautious. There's another sound off in the distance.
Murdoch may have been correct.
It seems.
No.
I know what I'm doing.
It seems Murdoch was indeed correct. And Crystal approaches again, and and she says, "Okay, careful. We just want to defeat this one. If you try to capture this particular Hoopa, that doesn't guarantee that we can get out of here. What we want to get is the Prime Hoopa. The original one. Just aggroing Hoopa from all across this particular point in space doesn't mean anything. So we may just have to kick the bear a few times."
With pleasure.
Oh my lord. Like, I mean, is there any way to, like, get a closer way of, assuring that we could attract the Prime Hoopa?
She thinks, well... and then Amber steps forward and takes out her backpack and pulls out a small artifact.
Is that Kit Kat? You got Snickers?
Well, I do. Is she pulls out a Snickers and hands it to you.
Oh, thank you.
But that's not what I was doing. And she pulls out a small bottle.
Oh.
She gave me her Snickers.
I like her.
She says, well, we actually discussed this earlier with, and she just kind of, and she twirls her hair a little bit with Nira and them, and they mentioned that we might come across Hoopa, and this was just sitting there at that antique shop you guys were at earlier. Do you remember, Jade?
Vaguely. I didn't think about it a whole lot because, I mean, Hoopa, but, so what is it exactly?
I'm not quite sure. Alistair or Mason, would you like to do checks for that? I know Mason's got like a bazillion points in knowledge of Pokemon.
I just...
No!
Woo!
Wow.
Murdoch did work at a museum or something, right?
He
worked at a museum.
Actually,
you didn't specify, I think.
You did, actually. You specified the Pokemon Academy. In fact, Murdoch, give a D20.
Am I just doing a straight D20 roll, or am I trying like a...
You better get him one. Better go for one.
Am I rolling just a flat D20?
Is this Mason? Mason, you have like a plus 12 in Pokemon knowledge. So I don't quite remember. I'm just going to give that to you.
I'm looking at my character sheet.
Yeah, just bring that up and do like a D... Yeah, and then when I say plus 12... Yeah, Mason, you know that this particular item is Hoopa's special imprison bottle. It's incredibly rare, and the fact that it's sitting at an antique shop kind of distresses you a little bit. But you do know that can remove... Or at the very least, it can seal some of Hoopa's powers.
Really?
I'm aware that. Remember how I had set up Boxer with the dark memory last time, and we instead wound up fighting a much larger Hoopa than I expected. I was thinking in my head the confined version of Hoopa, the smaller one. He comes in two forms depending on how much power he has at his disposal. So theoretically, this bottle can switch in between those forms.
Crystal responds, yes, but if we want to get home, we need to capture the Prime Hoopa. If we attract one of the lesser ones, then we may... We don't want to catch that one. So this may take a few tries, they think.
All right. So, Eddie?
Oh, also,
Also,
sorry, Eddie,
Snickers.
Eddie, you do recognize this girl, as a matter of fact. She was actually last year's valedictorian at the school you taught.
Oh!
Or not taught, guarded.
I taught discipline. Anyway, she gave me a Snickers, so yeah, whatever she said, I'm in.
Eddie, I think that it might be a good idea if you use Madam for the time being.
Madam?
regardless of your Granbull.
Yeah, well, I know who Madam is.
If we find
Sure.
Hoopa once again in his large form, he's not weak to anything that Zug Zug has. He would be weak to Madam.
I knew that. All right, Zug Zug. I guess you've earned yourself some rest, buddy. Don't need any interdimensional cities or whatever, okay? Back in the ball. Here you go.
He disappears with a bye. or a hop.
Hey, he learned a new word. Good for him. Good on him. And then I'll pull out, wait, so you want me to pull out Madam? What about Pikachu? Pikachu hasn't seen a lot of action. And I feel like we're gonna be getting into the thick of it, you know? So I just kind of want to make sure everybody gets a taste.
If you want to, I suppose. He
He-
does
he-
have a lot of health.
He's saying Pikachu. Is there like I'm not...
Oh, Pikachu's my hippopodan. He's
Oh
cool.
my lord.
Don't question it. Yeah.
I just really
he
wanted
certainly has a lot of stamina, and he wouldn't be at a disadvantage.
By the way, I'm kind of like really hurt. If anyone has more Snickers.
You do get a digestion buff for the Snickers.
Oh, thank God.
And you do have this opportunity to heal. You guys are, special Pokemon Investigation Task Force. I'm going to assume you all have max restore or full restores on you.
Okay, cool.
Let's say 10 between the three of you.
Okay, it was gonna be like 10 each. Like, what are we even worried about?
We're
Do that.
gods.
We get to do that. Yeah, that's how the Pokemon world works. You get to be a gym leader if you have more than one full restore. It just make you a gym leader.
All right, so I ate the Snickers, and I'll pick up Pikachu's ball, but then I'll look over at Mason and be like, all right, and I'll put him back, and I'll pull out Madam and say, come on out, Mrs. Show him how it's
Mrs.?
done. Well, her name's Madam, but between me and her. Listen, all right, this is between us. This is an A-B relationship.
Okay, buddy.
Anyway, I bring out Madam.
Okay, can you throw her out, or do you know how to?
Oh, I totally know what I'm doing. Nope, that's a name. Nope, wait.
I'd like to say he's probably doing this in character where he's like, oh, comes out. Nope, never mind, go back.
Hold on.
Alright.
Are you
One of
using?
these
You like toss it a couple of times and it just rolls. It doesn't open up. And you're like, wait a minute. You tossed it when it was like in the tiny form, not when it's like big.
Are you using full
I,
restore on Alistair and like all the trainers, or just the people or the Pokemon?
Alistair is actually fine.
He wasn't. He was at 16, and
Oh.
I assumed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Boxer need
Do full
healing.
restores help like restore your like abilities too?
I forgot. You've burned a lot of dailies, haven't you?
I've burned a lot of dailies, yes.
Oh, thank God, multi-attack's only seen. I thought it was daily.
Do you remember how many dailies you've burned?
I used my reroll. I used my my maximum thing. Oh gosh.
Oh, hey, all of my abilities are daily.
But it should be like daily times something, isn't it?
Magalites are
yes.
forever.
What?
All your abilities are daily, but Magalites are forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, hold on.
That's what he's gonna propose to his future wife.
Another 5 levels. Static.
Actually, no. Full restore. Now that I recall, full restore does not restore dailies. You'll need ethers for that one. And let's say those are really rare. Let's say Team Spit has 2 of them between them. I know I have not given any to Team Fresh Floof.
Huzzah. If we make it out of this alive, I'll give you all my ethers.
Well, my other ones that I can use like daily. Okay, the one that I need restored is my obsessive compulsive. Everything else I gotta use at least twice, so I'm good on those.
So that's up to you guys if you want to give that to her.
I think she's earned it.
How many have we used so far?
17. So we're down to.
We're down to 3. Okay, I heard you say 17.
Yeah, I heard 70. I was like, whoa.
He was just chugging them like he didn't know what they
taste
did.
really good. Have you guys tried it?
I want a full restore boxer. So I'll bring him back to.
I don't know how to do my heal things, so
Who is I?
I
Okay.
Would Suboxer was at 43 HP? Would he have injuries?
It does not. Yeah, he would have injury. He's got 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Alistair,
Double
I
check.
believe Alistair has 3.
yeah.
Jade did not receive any because Chandelure jumped into the fray for her.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, while Hoopa is coming, Chibi-Tina kind of steps down a little bit, and he just looks a little solemn at you and holds up a single paw, and inside, on his paw, there's a single blue flame. Chibi-Tina looks at Alistair and says, have you got a bottle?
Yeah, sure. And then I pull out a bottle. I open up my briefcase and I pull out a bottle and hand it to him.
He throws the blue flame inside and corks it and hands it to Jade.
What is that?
That's the remains of my chandelier.
Oh.
yeah,
I'm
he
going
went
to
down
keep
swinging.
this.
I said that he went down swinging. So.
Yeah, he was a big help in the fight.
Yes. Yeah.
Jade is just kind of very quiet about it. Very quiet.
I'm going to replace. I'm going to swap out. No, actually, no. I'm going to keep Hoopa with the bug memory for now. Because if we're thinking that we're still going to fight another Hoopa, I'll keep it in. I was debating Fairy, but.
Can I talk to Chibi-Tina, actually?
Yeah, you've got some time. Amber and Crystal both pull out some Pokemon, and Crystal points at Akari up north-ish, down, whatever direction that is.
It's Distortion World, doesn't make sense. Or Spatial World.
Spatial World, yes. And then she will pull out. What do you want to ask Chibi-Tina, sweetie?
I want to know if he knows any tricks for pulling out the real Hoopa so we can get out of here.
He says, well, all I know is that Hoopa has collective knowledge over all of its pieces. So if you've got any tricks, save them for when we run into the Prime Hoopa.
Do we know?
Do we know if we could travel anywhere? I mean, do we just sit here? Do we wait here for it to come to us, or is there any way for us to hunt it down?
Why is Snowball here?
Chibi-Tina
What?
hops down and thinks for a second and says, I haven't spoken to Hoopa in eons, but I think if we grab some crystals, we might be able to move around a bit more freely. Maybe if we're lucky, we can even find the throne.
That would be good. Chibi-Tina, can you recognize Prime Hoopa from its others?
I think you will, he thinks for a moment.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So, do you know if the one that we just fought was?
Was the Prime?
He says, no, I don't think so. It didn't have a god aura, he says.
Oh, so it was just big and terrifying on its own. Okay.
My character, he had said something about the crystals being used to move around, so I pick up some of the crystals and just kind of examine them.
You look at them, and they're very, very similar to the fakes that the witches have. In fact, because you've studied, Pokemon psychic stuff for 20 years, you know that if it was anyone but you, someone as trained as you looking at them, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
These
You actually... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
these are very similar to the fake ones, but
Real.
yeah, they're real. So, I mean, obviously, we're in the.
Give
the actual.
Yeah, give a channel or give a psychic check, that 1d4 plus whatever we were using, or the 1d20 plus whatever we were using.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna roll a d20.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you think if you gather enough of these, that have been touched by Hoopa, you might be able to move on to another, an area closer to the Prime.
All right.
So basically,
everyone.
this entire cluster where we just fought the guy.
Alistair can sense that pretty much the crystals have to touch Hoopa in order to kind of align to him.
Okay, so
So if
we can
Hoopa had
follow these crystal pads, sort of idea, like these ones floating over. Okay, there.
You
I
hop
say
on the
yes.
crystals
Wait
no.
a second, no, and I grab him. No, go.
because we just fought Hoopa here, so are a lot of these crystals in our immediate area? Have they been touched by Hoopa?
Actually, no, because it was sideways at the time. The crystals that Hoopa touched are over here. I will use up there.
Ah.
Hold on. Oh, that over there?
Yep.
Can I just fly over and harvest them real quick?
Well, you can.
I don't like the way you said that.
Actually, funnily enough, I was about to say that as well. Like, oh yeah, totally. You can totally try to do that. That's a thing. That could be possibly a thing.
The whole Matt Mercer. Oh, you can try to do anything.
Yeah, I know we're talking about crystals and God Pokemon or whatever, but anyone worried about that guy over there? And I point at Akari, just laying by himself, or maybe the his Pokemon that's kind of dead over there. Anyone?
I think it's just knocked out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Um,
just gonna leave him
but
there.
that's
or-
actually.
I could
I'm, like,
use
surprised
telekinesis
that-
and see, I could use my telekinesis.
Oh
Go in.
God!